we are mainly talking about. Is that why is it that these women, and we're talking about predominantly American women, I'm not speaking about women in other countries, because I know that we always have that situation where we'll bring up women from other countries and they'll always say, oh, well, women in Brazil aren't like this. Listen, it's a known fact that women are way more submissive in other countries than they are in the United States of America. Okay? This is not news. What we are talking about here is what is going on in American culture. Okay? This is the issue that we are having right now. And as I have mentioned, we see that women file for divorce or initiate the breakup at least 70% of the time. But the interesting thing is, before all of this, when you're in the courtship phase, the woman is usually wanting the attention and wanting the pursuit by a male. And that's completely understandable, as it should be. I'm not saying that that's not what should be the case. But what I will say, though, is that let's just take it a step back. Let's not focus on marriage. Let's focus more so on relationships and just dating and where we are as far as today, as far as social media and dating apps. Can we all admit, especially those of us, I guess you could say, that are somewhat from the old school, where we remember the time of dating before dating apps existed and before social media, like when you actually had to walk up and talk to a woman in person? Yeah. For those of us that come from that era, I think we can all agree that dating has changed. Has it not? If you guys can agree with me, please comment it below. Make sure you guys like this video too, so we can get some more people out here. You know what I mean? Get the algorithm going. It helps push the algorithm. So make sure you guys can like the video so we can get more people up in here. Yeah, I know there's a big game going on too with the Knicks, so we'll probably be watching that in a minute. But I just thought I'd jump on here real quick because I was feeling it right now. The ideas are coming to me right now. And I was like, you know what? It hasn't started yet. We got to speak about this. And this is what's more important anyways, because a lot of that stuff is just distractions anyways. A lot of that stuff is just distractions. So this is the truth of what we're speaking about. We have some basketball talk up in here. Tyler, shout out. Make sure you give a like, Tyler. Thank you for the coin. If you gave a coin, though, I appreciate it if my screen's showing correctly. Thank you. You asked, do I think the Spurs can make a comeback? No, I do not. Do I know if the Spurs or if the Knicks are going to close it out today? I think maybe it's 50-50. But I think that the Knicks are going to win because they're already up 3-1. And most teams that are up 3-1, I think, go on to win the series over 90% of the time. Thank you for the coins. Make sure you give some likes too, Dean, or Tyler Dean. Thank you for your comment. Thank you for the coins, man. Make sure you give a like if you can. It helps get more people up in here in this algorithm. You know what I mean? So make sure you guys give a like. Yeah, let me make sure I got your comments coming up too on my other screen, on my multi-screen. Because good thing I see them coming in on the TikTok over here. So yeah, man. Basically, and we could go back. We could talk a little bit about that in basketball. You know what I mean? But I don't know if that's why people really subscribe to me to hear me talk about sports. But relationships are a sport in themselves. Thank you for the likes, Tyler. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, fam. Yeah, relationships are like sports. You know, and that's the point I want to make too right here, man. Is that I get tired of the games. You know what I'm saying? I get tired of the games, man. The games that people play like, oh well, you got to take her out on 2 or 3 dates first before she can like you, or should you kiss on the first date, or should you not kiss on the first date, or what should you do on the first date? Some women think that it's okay to go out to dinner on a first date, while some will think it's no, you should go out to drinks on the first date. It's just like, man, there's just too many rules out here, man. It needs to go back to just being chill. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to get back to the point to where things are just chill, man, and people don't have all of these complications. But right now, we're bringing too much complication into this. And you know what's so funny to me is that when I go out into the dating world and I talk to some of these women and we're having a conversation, right? And then they'll just be like, oh, well, dating's so complicated right now. It's so complicated. And I'm like, yeah, you know what I really want to say is, yeah, because y'all make it that way. Y'all make it that way, man. And I understand some men go out and cheat, and women too, but I understand that there's people in relationships that maybe don't do all of what they're supposed to do and what they say that they'll do. I understand that. But I gotta say, man, again, it goes back to my point. Women can be more so energy vampires. More so than men, I think. I think more so than men. Because, let's be honest, men. And I read stories about this all the time. Let's be honest. Most men would probably take their ex-girlfriends back. Except for the ones that, did them wrong. Like, if you did them wrong, and you just did something just completely foul, then okay, yeah, I understand that part. I think that maybe they wouldn't come back then. Maybe they'd be like, oh yeah, F that. Because I know a couple of my exes where I would never take them back. I don't care. Sometimes I say to myself, I was like, I don't care if they were the last woman or something. I was like, I still don't think I would do it. And one of them was kind of hot, you know what I mean? But I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know. But for the most part, the ones that were somewhat decent, and sometimes they do come back out the woodworks and they'll hit you up when they get lonely and they'll be like, hey, what's good? And then it's like, oh, yeah, what's good? Well, how have you been? I doubt that it's most men don't be like, oh, don't ever call me again. Don't you ever call me again. I don't think men really do that. There are some men out there that ghost women, but I think if a man ghosts a woman or blocks her, he doesn't really understand women. Like, you should never ghost and block women, because we know that 9 times out of 10 they probably will come back. Maybe not always. Maybe like 7 out of 10. But as long as it wasn't no bad breakup or terrible breakup and you guys just parted ways on mutual grounds, usually they sometimes come back. Now, I've noticed that it's gotten a little bit different now, possibly because the rise of dating apps. I mean, you can find dating apps just about for anything nowadays. You can find dating apps for just about anything. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't even matter anymore what dating app you want to be on or what. I'm going to try to see if I can play this for TikTok. Tell me if you guys can hear this. Let me see if I can move this over real quick for you guys. Yeah, tell me if you can hear it. Yeah. And then we'll get to that other woman who was talking trash about Taylor Swift. Okay. See if you guys can see that. Tell me in the comment section if you guys can hear this. This is an interesting point right here, where Shaquille O'Neal's wife, ex-wife I should say, went online, okay, and basically said, or she said, that she never loved him. Okay, now I can understand if this is just she fell out of love, okay? Because, you know, you can fall in love and then you can fall out of love, right? Speaking of Shaq, which is really interesting because those of you that are watching the sports game right now, I think whatever their names are, you know, the halftime guys or whatever with Shaq and all the other NBA players and all that, he's up there talking currently right now. The question is I wonder if Shaq is going to bring up the point about his ex-wife saying that she never loved him. Of course, he's not going to talk about that on the NBA broadcast. But what I will say, though, is that, wow, man. Wow. Your ex-wife, not only is she your ex-wife, but she went up to diminish you on whatever interview or whatever she went to go speak about him. Crazy work, man. Let's see if we can play it.
There was something that went very viral with your ex-wife, and she had said something along the lines of she didn't think that she ever really loved you.
And my response was, I wouldn't have loved me either.
Yeah.
It just showed me that I was failing. A man has 3 jobs with a woman. Protect, provide, and love. And at that point in my life, I failed her in all 3 areas.
Really?
So I understood it. It's not a, you know, people, shit. I understood it. I was an asshole. I was an idiot. So it just made me feel like, as a man, you didn't do the right thing. And the circumstance was, I lost mostly everything. And you have to learn from that. So I am the type that when I hear criticism or hear anything, before I emotionally react, you have to see if there's some truth in it.
I'm not sure if you guys were able to hear that. Please tell me in the comment section if you were able to hear that. I think, like I said in this video that's already out, right now I got to put it on my other platforms, but I pretty much have it out. I already said that Shaq is deflecting right here. I think that Shaq is deflecting right here. I don't think that he is taking the real responsibility to say, no, you just were having many affairs. You were lucky to be a superstar basketball player playing for the #1 team, winning championships. Hold on for just a second, y'all. Looks like we got a flag all of a sudden for TikTok. Let's see. Why? As we've detected suspicious activity that may violate. Nah, y'all are tripping. Maybe they don't like the Shaq thing. All right, well, I don't have to play that anymore. I can go on and talk about what I wanted to talk about, because that's really what I wanted to do anyways. I just wanted to bring this up real quick for reference, so hopefully you guys aren't tripping on that. What do you guys think about this, man? And then I went and did the research on this too, furthermore, and saw that Shaq's wife had filed for divorce.
I wouldn't have loved me either.
It's not funny. It's not funny. But this is a reality, man. This is a reality of what Shaq was going through, being a superstar, winning championships, traveling all over the world, living a lifestyle, man. And like I said, to me, I think that Shaq is one of the greatest basketball players, too, of all time. Except for the fact I saw in the comment, one person said, well, she divorced him because he couldn't hit his free throws. But that was a good joke. But, yeah, other than the fact that he couldn't hit free throws, I think that he still is one of the greatest basketball players of all time. He's one of, so shout out to Shaq. I see his point, and I like how he said he doesn't, I like the fact how he said, like, oh, you know what? I wouldn't be cool with this either, or I don't have time to be arguing with women, and I agree with that. And that's what I said in my other video. I agree with that, man. It almost makes it so interesting that Shaq, at the level of fame and fortune that he's at, that he would still have disrespect towards him. I find that very interesting. But, like I said, man, the reason why I bring this point up is to basically say that even Shaq, a person at his level, can get this too. That women file for divorce at least 70% of the time. And that was one of the points that I had looked up. Where I was like, oh, okay. Even she filed for divorce. Y'all feel what I'm saying here? Even she filed for divorce. So, and like people are saying nowadays, man, this is the other thing. People are saying nowadays that you better get a prenup. You know what I mean? Like, you better get a prenup. Especially if you're at a level of wealth and power and fame. And speaking of basketball real quick, because I know, shout out to the people in the chats that are asking me about the game. I appreciate y'all. I want to tell y'all this too about sports. Sports is a distraction. They're fun to watch, especially this series, even though we don't know if this series could really be possibly real or not. But they're fun to watch. Okay? But I will say this, though, that some of it does look a little scripted. And I will say, though, that if you are not a man, if it's a woman, it's probably different. But if you are not a man who's making at least 6 figures per month, no, I'm just kidding, per year at least, minimum. But you should strive for 6 figures per month. But let's just say minimum 6 figures per year. If you are not achieving this level of success, you shouldn't even be consumed with sports. I understand that if we want to watch here and there just for the fun of it, I understand that. But if you're like following the games and you're like trying to buy tickets and you're trying to go to the games and do all this and be, you know, all that, I feel like, nah, man, we're being distracted. And there's a lot much more that we need to pay attention to. There's a lot much more that we need to pay attention to, such as what's going on with these relationships out here.
So I understood it. Like a lot of people try to, we did that. She was 1,000% correct. I failed her as a husband, as a protector, as a provider. And you know, when you do dumb things happen. So I wasn't upset. I don't get upset because I'm a realist. Like, I'm not sensitive. You can't hurt my feelings. But when things come out, I'm able to stop time and be like, not right, rather than, because see what they want, whoever they is, they want a black man fighting a beautiful black woman, going back and forth. I don't do that. Never gonna do it. Shaq, you ain't motherfucker. Okay. Shaq, okay. I'm not gonna be like they wanted to be. Well, you never gonna happen. Because now that I'm in a good space,
He's smart about that one. I'll give him that. They do want to see a black man and the black woman fighting on social media. This is the reason why they have these stupid TV shows like Baddies and stuff like that, because they want to see this. This is what they want. You know, it's almost like when I look back at the Adam 22. You know, the Adam 22 beef, or not the beef, but like the Adam 22 thing where they were trying to make fun of the whole divorce thing, and you know, they tried to say that somebody else did it, but I don't know if I really believe that. But I'll just go ahead and say the whole Adam 22 spectacle, right, with his wife. And then they go on to say, oh yeah, nah, it was really just fake. It was really just fake. It wasn't really real. Or somebody else did it. Somebody else filed for it, right? That's what they want to tell you, right? But then all of a sudden, what do? They go and they break up a relationship between a black and a white woman. A black man and a white woman. It almost makes you start to wonder, are they psyops? Could they be psyops? And this is something that could take me to another level, where it's like, it makes me wonder that now. Could they be psyops? Because for the most part, it's like they go on to have their thing, right? They do their thing, right? And nothing happens to them, right? But then all of a sudden they go and they exploit all these black people and black relationships on their show, or shall we just say people of color. It almost makes me feel like some of this has to be possibly by design. Could be. Some of this could be possibly by design. So, y'all tell me what you think. And, I'll try to get back to some of the comments. Sometimes I have some, like, crazy people up in these comments where I'm just like, oh, I don't know if I want to respond to that. But thank you for watching. Don't think that I don't read your opinions. I try to read as many of the opinions as possible, because I like to know what people are thinking. But I will tell you this, though, man. I don't even know if I can even say all the things that I want to say, because it looks like TikTok, of course, didn't like something that was said on this stream, or something that happened on this stream already. It's like, man, you guys are so sensitive. You guys got to stop being so sensitive all the time. Like, come on, man. I'm not even going to talk about all that other stuff. I'm not going to get into that. I was about to bring up some stuff to say, well, this and that, but I don't want to be political. I try to stay as far away from there are some things in politics we're going to have to discuss on this channel. Like, there's no way that we won't be able to discuss some politics. I just feel like right now, we don't really need to get into that right now. This is not the time right now to get into this. Yeah, it's not the time to get into this right now. But later on, we can possibly address some of the politics. But yeah, man, women file for divorce and they file for breakups, or they initiate the breakups, I should say, at least 70% of the time, rounded off. They did studies on this. They did stats on this. You can ask all the pros out there. I think they all will say the same thing. So that goes to show that there's something going on. Now, I have a lot of deep theories as to why that is the case, but I'm not going to do that on this show. That might be another show that I'll do later on, which will be more detailed and more graphic. And that might start to be like members only, because I can really break down some subjects here, like how to win court cases and stuff like that. I've had situations where I've had to fight court cases without a lawyer and won. So, but I feel like those jewels right there, I feel like I should be compensated for those jewels that I can drop. But I could definitely drop some jewels, man. I can definitely drop some jewels. And some knowledge and some wisdom, because I've experienced it. I'm not just speaking as like, oh, well, this is what I read. No, I experienced it. Okay? So I can definitely tell you about certain things that have happened and give you that wisdom and that experience to be able to overcome it. Because that's what us men have to do right now, man. Like, let's be honest. Like, Elon Musk has just become a trillionaire. Right? Elon Musk just became a trillionaire. Yet, we have to understand some people out there, or some other people out there, they can barely buy groceries and gas. Yet, we got a man on the planet who was able to become a trillionaire. Not a billionaire, but a trillionaire. And like I said, I know that I said I wasn't going to get political, but let me just get a little political right here. Let me get a little political. The fact that we know that this man runs with Trump, right? He rolls with Trump. And so they went on to announce that this man has $1 trillion in his bank account, right? Now, this makes me wonder, well, if he's rolling with $1 trillion, what's the president running with? Or what are other people running with? This is just who they allowed to tell you. But that's it. Like, we know that there's other billionaires and trillionaires out there. Those of us that do our research, we already know that there were other billionaires out there way before this. Well, there was already like trillionaires out there. I mean, come on, man. Do we really need to bring up the Rothschilds? We already knew that there were other trillionaires out there. This family was already mentioned to be a trillionaire family back in like the 70s or the 80s or even earlier. So it's like, now you want to go ahead and say, oh yeah, Elon Musk is the first trillionaire. Yo, I'm thinking it's all part of a plan to point attention and direction in that angle, you know? They want to shift the traffic, shift everybody into that direction. That's what I think. Because I don't believe it. I don't believe that Elon Musk is the first trillionaire. He might be the first publicly known trillionaire, but is he really the first trillionaire? I don't believe it. Nah, I don't believe it. So that's my point, man. That is my point. Y'all tell me what y'all think. But the other flip side part of this is that we have a man out here who has more money than what he knows what to do with it. That means that if you're a trillionaire, you could give out $1 billion, right? $1 billion, not a million, but $1 billion with a B. You could give out $1 billion and not even sweat it. That's crazy. That's actually kind of crazy if you think about it. And then you look at the way this guy acts. You look at the way he acts, like how he's jumping around and stuff like that, making all these babies with all these different women, which that's probably kind of normal. But still, it kind of makes you wonder, like, is this guy like part of the reptilian race? Could he be part of the reptilian race? Because, I mean, the guy acts like an alien. Everybody says that he acts like an alien. And it's like, how could you just be that strange and that rich and powerful? Now, I understand you got to be a little bit like that in order to get to that level. Nobody gets to that level of success being normal. Look at all the normal people out there who are normal, who are just normal. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever hung out with a normal person, like a person who's considered normal? Have you ever done that? And let me ask you this. Aren't they usually the most boringest people you've ever encountered? Yeah, most normal people, like people that are just normal, like they just act a certain way that's pretty normal. They dress a certain way that's pretty normal. They live in a place that's pretty normal. They drive a car that's pretty normal, pretty average, pretty normal. And then they go do things that are pretty normal, and then you ask them about, hey, so what do you do for fun, or how are things? And it's just pretty normal. Let me ask you, aren't those people usually boring people? Aren't they usually boring people to be around? I remember I was hanging out with a chick like that, and I started thinking that she was kind of boring. I mean, she was cool and all. I'm not trying to be disrespectful or anything, but I just remember like just being with her was just like listening to her on the phone when she would tell me certain things. I was just like, oh, so you almost fell asleep at work. Wow, that must be pretty boring. Oh, so what did you do for today? Oh, just, I understand there's certain days like that, but then it started to become like every day. It's like, oh, Just go to work, come home, watch your show. Go to work, come home, watch Netflix. Go to work, come home, watch Netflix. I'm like, oh, that's pretty basic. That sounds pretty basic. Like, didn't do any, like, no hobbies, nothing. Just go out to restaurants, go to work, go home, watch Netflix. Now, I don't mind if some of y'all women want to Netflix and chill. I don't mind that. But the other part, though, is that when we went out on a date, she was like, "Oh, let's order the pizza." And then this is why I say you shouldn't really eat on the first date. I always had that rule, but sometimes I'll make exceptions. You know what I mean? I'll make exceptions and be like, all right, let's get some appetizers, right? But I won't really go further than that. We ain't doing dinner. We ain't doing Cheesecake Factory, okay? Which I know a lot of you women seem like y'all want to do, especially you black women. A lot of y'all seem like y'all want to go to Cheesecake Factory on the first date, always. I'm not sure why, okay? But, yeah, we were just like, oh, well, at least we both like pizza. Because I know that there's some women out there that don't even like pizza. And so I'm like, okay, well, you like pizza, right? She's like, yeah. I'm like, cool. They got a special. Let's do it. Which I'm glad we got it on the special because no way in heck was that pizza worth $20. But luckily we got it at a happy hour. Man, I'm telling y'all, man. Like, you're talking to a guy who's been to Italy. I got to tell you, man, the pizza's so much better, obviously, in Italy. But not only that, but it's cheaper. Whereas the pizza's like... Hold on, I'm going to play this Elon Musk thing in a second. Whereas, like, the pizza's like double the price out here, and it's double the trash. I guess that's instead if you're in New York. We weren't in New York. So, if we were in New York, maybe that'd be a different story. Love the pizza in New York. Love it. Mind-blowing, mind-changing pizza. Everybody that has never been to New York or who has never had New York pizza before, you're missing out. You're missing out. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. But, yeah, so it's like this pizza was just trash. But I think if they would have put some pepperoni on it, it would have been a little bit better. But then she was like, well, I don't eat meat. And so I was like, oh, okay. And I think I remember her saying, that's cool. That's like kind of a normal thing. I don't have to eat meat all the time, every time I go out. And especially if I'm with a woman, I can make that sacrifice for some punani. So I'm like, okay, yeah, we don't have to order the meat. What do you want? I was like, can we get the margarita? That sounds pretty interesting. Let's do that. Something that's like a little different. No, let's just get the 3 cheese. I was just like, what? The 3 cheese? We're like, I could understand if I was like at home chilling or something like that, or you're getting a slice and I'm getting a slice, but we're getting like a full pizza. You just want the whole pizza to just be cheese and nothing else? Like not even some olives or some bell peppers or some onion or some mushrooms? Just cheese. I was like, that's pretty normal. And not only was I saying that was pretty normal, but I was like, that's pretty normal and boring. Yeah, man, some people are just boring. And some people are just normal. Or that's what I mean to say. The people that are usually just normal are usually just pretty boring. But yeah, to go back to this psyop. It really makes me wonder with Elon Musk, man. Jump again. Jump again. There we go. It was good. Thanks. Jump again. Jump again. There we go. It was good. Thanks. Yeah. Jump again. Yeah, can you believe this guy's the first trillionaire? My bad, I don't know if you guys were able to see it on YouTube. I was trying to play it on YouTube, but yo, no disrespect to Elon Musk because he's kind of cool in a way. But here, let me just take me off. This guy kind of, to me, looks like Beavis and Butthead right here. He looks kind of like a Beavis and Butthead, man.
Jump again. Jump again. There we go. It was good. Thanks, Sheila. Jump again. Jump again. There we go. It was good. Thanks, Sheila.
I'm not much of a jumper. Yeah, right. Okay. He said he's not much of a jumper. Doubt that, man. This guy has jumped from planet to planet. This dude is straight up reptilian race. If you ask me, straight alien. Like the government keeps trying to tell you that, like, oh yeah, we're gonna let you know that the aliens are here. The aliens are amongst us. We'll let you know sooner or later. Yo, man, they don't have to let us know sooner or later. They're right here in front of our face. And not only are they right here in front of our face, they're actually running social media too. Why do you think Elon Musk changed the name Twitter to X? Why? And then furthermore, if you want to go down the rabbit hole, right? Like let's go down the rabbit hole just a little bit more. If you look at the logo, right? And let me pull it up on a different screen right here. Can y'all see that? If you look at the logo right here, this logo means something. Okay? It means something, man. This logo means like some kind of Illuminati force, some type of Illuminati presence. Like, I don't think that Elon Musk just decided one day to say, oh, you know what? I'm going to buy Twitter. And then not only am I going to buy Twitter, but I'm going to change the logo and I'm going to change the design. Yo, I don't think it's a coincidence. This man bought the company, right? Changed the logo. Did it on purpose. Because, why? Because he's showing you his planetarian wishes. This is why this man wants to go to space so much. I mean, we could even take it a step further. It's like everything that he does. And hasn't Joe Rogan also said this? Where Joe Rogan says that he is an alien too? Or that he thinks he's an alien as well? Yeah, I think that Joe Rogan had kind of said this. Not to mention that if I bring this up, like this man wants to go to Mars, right? He had this picture of his staff on his Twitter account in front of the rocket ship, right? This is a big rocket ship. All right? And like this rocket ship right here, hold on, let me take my camera off so you guys can see it right. This is a picture of his staff with his rocket ship that he posted on X. And like, I mean, huge rocket ship, right? I'm not sure which one this is or which one this is for. He doesn't really say in the caption. He just basically says, it's a really big rocket. And then they go on to say in this post about like how they're all for, you know, humanity and all this and that. Like, yeah. Okay, whatever. They're really worried about other planets when we don't even have this planet doing what it's supposed to be doing. But okay, yo, let's see what's going on Mars. Why do you think that is the case? Well, I'll tell you why I think it's the case. The reason why is because this is where Elon Musk is from. He's trying to get back to Mars. It's like E.T. Phone Home, for those of you that saw the movie. Now, I know Gen Zers, y'all probably haven't seen the movie yet. But it's like E.T. Phone Home. He's trying to get back home. That's his home, man. It's Mars. And he's doing a great job while he's here on planet Earth. Let me go back to Elon over here, my bad. But yeah, he's doing a great job while he's here on planet Earth. Procreating, making all types of babies.
Jump again!
Ugh, it's so weird. It's so weird, man. But yeah, like as I mentioned, man, he's doing a great job of procreating and bringing his people back to his homeland or back to his motherland. And I was doing a speech on Elon Musk the other day. I was talking about like how I feel like he's kind of racist. Like I said again, no disrespect to Elon. I feel like there's more that I have to get to know about him. But some of the posts that he be putting up about like, yeah, more white people need to have babies. They need to procreate more. You know, just kind of sounded like, But like, yeah, man, we'll get into this